You know, I thought I had this entire week planned out. Emilia Romagna Grand Prix comedy review, maybe cover the Indy 500 qualifying if anything crazy happens there. It'll be a nice chill weekend, I thought. Then we end up in the situation we're in now, where Imola has been rained off. So far at least nothing of note has happened at Indy, and I'm writing this script not knowing what I'm actually talking about today. Which, if you think about it, doesn't make much of a difference to normal, does it? You see, these comedy reviews would really thrive off racing in torrential rain, or IndyCar drivers trying gymnastics. In other words, people being very, very stupid. And even the Americans can't seem to manage that at the moment. Like, what am I supposed to do? Now, obviously, calling off Imola was the right call. I've got enough of a brain to realise that. But it does put me in a bit of a predicament here. I thought maybe we could discuss Nick DeVries, except every other F1 YouTuber under the sun has already done that, and let's be honest, my takes from last year have aged like fine wine for once, so maybe let's not tempt fate. Then I considered a whole 10 minutes of the red flag meme. Then thought maybe not. You're welcome, by the way. I also considered talking about F1 Academy before remembering that nobody gives a shit. So let's just talk about how we got here. Surely I can siphon some views off that somehow.
We are talking about wankers.
Now, there may be no Grand Prix, but that's not going to stop me on this one. So, once again, it's a big thank you to Head Out for sponsoring this video. Going to F1 races, when they're not underwater, can be rather expensive. And as the seasons go by, it seems like the sport is just being more and more confined to celebrities who have just about as much interest in Formula 1 as I do in deep-sea trawler fishing. That's where Head Out come in. They're an experiences company who provide the best prices and availability when it comes to attending Grand Prix, helping bring the sport back to the masses and people who actually know what's going on. On top of that, they regularly run giveaways and competitions to get you further discounts on your race tickets. And hey, if you're really lucky, you may even get some for free. To find out more, head to the link in the description of this video. Head Out have also been kind enough to give you guys a 30% discount on all their race tickets and experiences when you use the code FP130 at checkout. So if you're considering going to a Grand Prix later in the season, now you know where to go. Right then, since there is zero on-track action to talk about, let's see what I can milk off all the off-track stuff instead. The big rumour prior to the weekend involved AlphaTauri, and more specifically Nick DeVries. The Dutchman had a shaky start to 2023, with multiple accidents, mistakes, and the ability to make Yuki Tsunoda look good. So when news dropped that a driver had had a seat fitting at Faenza, no one was shocked. Until we found out said driver was Daniel Ricciardo. If this was true, 5 races after Danny said that he would only settle for a top team, he was in line for a drive at the worst one on the 2023 grid. Then again, after his McLaren stint put the Aussie's reputation through a meat grinder, this may well be his best bet for the time being. The rumours were soon dismissed by Red Bull's attempt at a Bond villain, though Helmut Marko did admit that he'd given DeVries his yellow card, which I think is the sanction before being put on the naughty step. In all seriousness, it's nice to see Red Bull learning and being more forgiving to DeVries compared to how they've dealt with some of their drivers in the past. Look at Alex Albon, for instance. He failed to impress, and they put him in a Williams. Moving on, and also in the news this week, was Mercedes, with their new upgrade package scheduled for the race this weekend. That sure aged well, didn't it? I might as well give my thoughts on this. I honestly don't see these Merc upgrades having any meaningful impact, and bluntly, Mercedes' troubles are entirely their own fault at the moment. They took a different direction in 2022, building a car that was horrible to drive and broke the back of their star driver. Then got to this year and thought, okay, everyone might not have touched this concept with a 10-foot barge pole, but we're gonna do it again. For me, Mercedes' fortunes won't change until they finally admit they cocked up, build a silver Red Bull, and piss off half of Twitter. I'm of course leaving the biggest headline till last, the fact that Imola is underwater right now, and as a result, we aren't getting a Grand Prix this weekend, making it the best race the FIA have handled to date. No, seriously, fair play to Formula 1 for making the right call here. It was only a few months ago they were letting lucky recovery vehicle drivers mix it with the big guys. It's character development, I'll give them that. Yuki Tsunoda decided he would go and help out the locals, while Lewis Hamilton told everyone that he hoped they were okay. I'm not going to add anything to that yet, I'll still get in trouble for it, won't I? I also got in trouble for stirring up half of Twitter by suggesting the Imola cat was dead. Not my best move, but I still think it's rather funny. F1 tried to quell our hunger for racing by showing the full 2021 race over again on their YouTube channel, because bringing up that season doesn't sound like a bad idea whatsoever, does it? Mercedes then added fuel to the fire by having #bless read out mean comments. I'll tell you something, they really hit hard.
You're telling me that Lewis Hamilton, a man whose job is to drive over 300 kilometers an hour, is scared of onions?
Worst part of it all was that Lewis genuinely looked a little hurt by a few of these. I still think, though, they should have chucked one like this at the very end. Anyway, that's about as much waffling as I think I can do for this one. Apologies for the shorter video, but let's just hope Indy qualifying saves us this evening, shall we? I hope you enjoyed it regardless, and if you did, then I'd ask you to drop it a like and get subscribed for more comedy race reviews in the future. Hopefully with a little bit more racing next time. Speaking of, next week is a big one. Monaco and the Indy 500. That's 2 videos to look forward to, so you've got to make sure you're subscribed for all of that. Huge thank you again to Head Out for sponsoring this video, and again be sure to check out their race tickets and other experiences down in the description below, using that code FP130 for 30% off your order. I've also got to thank all of my patrons and channel members for all of your support as well. If you would like to get involved in that, then again all those links are down in the description below. But for now, that's all from me, so I'll see you soon for another video, but until then, have a good one.